I'm Pinkie. I'm a storyboard revisionist on SpongeBob SquarePants and Camp Coral, and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw sandy cheeks.
Don't know why, but I think I'll kick SpongeBob's butt tomorrow.
So first things first, when we start a new drawing, it's great to plan out the drawing and thumbnail it. A thumbnail sketch is a little tiny sketch that you do either on the corner of your sheet of paper, on a piece of scrap paper, or on a post-it note. It helps you plan out what the drawing is going to look like. And this is where you get to make all of those simple mistakes, plan out poses, worry less about all the details, and worry more about proportions, where everything goes, what expressions you want the characters to have, etc., etc. So I'm going to go ahead and do my thumbnail sketch right now. Alright, now that my thumbnail sketch is done, I put it in the corner so I can reference it when I'm doing my sketch. Now, at this point, if you're following along at home, get a light pencil, sketch very lightly. So the first thing we're going to work on is Sandy's face. Her head is shaped like, kind of like Squidward's head upside down, but it's like an upside down mushroom. And she has little round eyeballs that sit right in between that cheek and forehead area.
SpongeBob? Ah!
And her eyes kind of have a slight overlap, but they don't overlap each other too much. And she's got big round pupils. She's also got little triangular nose here. I'll work on drawing her big smile, just like I drew in my thumbnail sketch. And give her a big old buck teeth. And she has cute little pizza slice ears. So now we're gonna draw her helmet. Her helmet is pretty big and circular. It's gotta give her some room to move her head around and breathe. We draw a little oval where the helmet connects with her spacesuit. I'm gonna erase some of the messy lines so you can see a little bit better. Her spacesuit, you can kind of see the inside of it. And that's the purpose of that oval. Because it's pumped full of air, because Sandy can't breathe underwater. She's a land squirrel.
SpongeBob! Patrick?
So she's got to wear the spacesuit when she's underwater so she can breathe air. And when I draw her body is like a can of soup. And just go ahead drawing her arms.
You want arms like these?
Draw her hand where it's going to be holding the rope. And go ahead and draw her other arm. So now we're gonna draw the lasso. Gotta make sure she has enough room to swing it. Now I've never thrown a lasso before, so this could be entirely wrong. I'm gonna draw her legs, which are thinner than her arms because her arms are more a part of the spacesuit, the sleeves, and her legs, kind of like if she's wearing pants or leggings. They're not as bulky. Now I'm gonna draw the boots, but her boots are kind of like she put her feet in tissue boxes. They're very geometric. They're not like cowboy boots, they're space boots. And Sandy has gone to space. Big tail. It's very curly Q. And she has a flower on top of her helmet. And it kind of cheats out to the camera a little bit. It faces us. Alright, so now I'm going to start cleaning up my sketch and making a finalized version.
Now this is what I call a rodeo!
So on her spacesuit, she has a zipper that goes down the middle, and it's gonna be slightly off from the middle because she's bent over right now. You can see the metal zipper up on the top. And she has a little patch here that has an acorn on it.
See?
Now normally it's a perfect square, but because she's bent over a little bit, I made it a little bit bent as well to go with the rest of her body. Let's focus on these fists for a second. You're not going to see her fingers or anything because she's wearing a glove. So draw her hands as if you draw your hands if you have mittens on. And one way I have done it before is I've put a sock over my hand and looked at how my own hand looks and used my hand to pose everything out. Alright, so now we're going to draw the lasso. And it's going to connect right here, the knot. I'm going to use a skinnier line to draw it. First part is easy. We're just going to draw a big looping shape. The next part's a little bit trickier as you take the other side and try to follow along at the same width and keep it the same all the way around. On the lasso, I'm going to show where the rope connects to her hand where she's holding it. Maybe it has a few wiggles in it. Now this part's a little bit tricky. We're going to show it come out one side of her hand and connect to the other hand, like that. Now it's going to go out that hand, and the rope ends right about here. So now, when we're going over this, we have to keep in mind that we are drawing over our previous drawing and erasing parts where it overlaps. So you see each place where the rope touches something else we've already drawn, we're going to erase it. And you might want to just draw everything all the way through, but I promise it looks so much better when you draw over what you've already drawn and erase everything else underneath it. It gives it a lot more depth. Okay, so now we're going to draw her bushy tail. We're drawing it over what we've already drawn. Try not to let that confuse you too much. We are going to do the same thing where we erase things that overlap. And in this case, to step back and think about it for a second, but her arms go over the tail because the tail is behind the arms. So you're going to want to erase the lines where the tail meets the arm. So by erasing that, it looks like the arm is in front of the tail. Now we're going to work on those space boots. Remember, there's a line right where the leg, the calf, meets the boot. It may take a few tries to get that perfectly round circle. It's pretty tricky. And on top of the helmet, we have her flower, which has 5 petals, and the petals are kind of square but kind of round. And there's a big oval in the middle. So here we go, 5 petals. And remember, it kind of faces us a little bit. For now, we are all done.
And that's how you draw sandy cheeks.
That's for yesterday, SquarePants!